All right, we get to talk about Legend of the Seas today, which is exciting. Is anyone in here excited about Legend of the Seas coming to Europe? If you already knew. Alex is, all right, we'll take that. Awesome, yes. Lizanne says yes, definitely. This is some of the best news. Like seriously, some of the most exciting news in the past, I don't know, decade or something for ship launches, in my opinion. All right. Well, Alex, are you okay with me getting us kicked off now? Let's start. All right. So, good morning, everyone. Just in case you don't know who I am, my name is Christy. I am the training manager for the EMEA region, so Europe, Middle East, and Africa, which is why you are here. You are joining us from part of our EMEA region, and we are going to be talking about Legend of the Seas. Now, this is one of a series. So, if this is your first session that you're showing up for, we do have all of this stuff recorded on YouTube. We'll show you the information on how to get the previous videos at the end of the session today. If you have been here with us all the way along, congratulations, you are entered in the prize drawing, and we have a couple of fantastic prizes that we'll run over real quickly at the end, just as a reminder for you guys. But today's session is all about Legend of the Seas. So, Legend of the Seas is our third Icon class ship, and I am very excited to share some details with you. Now, we don't have a lot of information, and most of it is going to be just kind of recapping what we know of Icon class ships at this point in time. But it's really good to start getting excited about it and talking about it with your customers. And we'll talk about why in just the next couple minutes here. We're going to start out with just our little intro video for Legend to kind of tickle the senses, if you will. Here we go. I'm always clicking too fast on these. There we go. There is a superhero franchise, which I will not name for any sort of legality sides of things, but that video is kind of reminiscent of their opening screens in a lot of our opinions. So a little bit of fun there playing with that. So, Legend of the Seas. Let's talk about the details of Legend. Legend is our third Icon class ship. Now, of course, we don't want to overshadow Star, which is coming this August. So, just a few short months because we are at the end of May right now. So, June, July, end of August. So, we're looking at less than 100 days now. We are in that 100-day countdown window for Star of the Seas. She is going to be moving straight over from her European dock where she has been being built to Port Canaveral. So she'll be coming into basically Orlando, cruising out of Port Canaveral for us, which is exciting. But the big news for us here in Europe is that Legend of the Seas is coming, and she is the third Icon class ship. So staterooms. We have over 2,800 staterooms on board Legend of the Seas. That's a lot of space. That's a lot of room. And we have increased our guest count. So on Icon of the Seas, our guest count is around 7,500. We are now looking at 7,600. And one of the reasons for that is that we continue to add more family size rooms on board the ships. So we're making sure that we're able to maximize our occupancy in the staterooms by making sure that we have space for families to stay. Now, I am a huge fan of the option of 2 rooms for 4 people, having double bathrooms, double the square footage. You can get those connecting doors and stuff, but we recognize that a lot of people do want to be in the same room with their family, with their kiddos and stuff. So we have been creating and building more of those family size staterooms, which is where these numbers come from. If we were only to have double occupancy on the entire ship, not a single triple or quad occupancy or higher occupancy, we would have 5,628 guests at full occupancy and double in every room. There are going to be 20 total decks, and then this is the 4th ship in our fleet that's going to be powered by LNG fuel. One of the things that I thought was pretty exciting that I happened to read at one point was that one of the components of building these LNG fuel ships is that we are allowing ourselves the ability to upgrade our fuel type when we come to a point. So we've built it into the ships that we're doing with this LNG fuel option, liquid nitrogen gas, I believe it is. That if and when a better fuel source comes along, we can just transition over to those for these ships. So really forward thinking, really looking at some great new options for the long-term big picture for our future. Now, Legend of the Seas, again, the big news is that she's coming to Barcelona and to Rome for summer of 2026. Now, it is a short season for us. It's not the full summer season. She is going to be here from August through October. So we do have limited months that we have those have the option to book on Legend. But on the plus side or the negative side, depending on how you look at it, depending on what your guests want, your customers want, is that our first 3 sailings are already sold or almost sold out. So people are excited about this. And we do have some time left for August and September, or for September and October, excuse me. So there is still room on Legend to get your guests on for her inaugural season out of Barcelona and Rome. And then, of course, she'll be moving over to Fort Lauderdale for the winter. So we will now have an Icon class ship in Miami with Icon, Port Canaveral with Star, and then Legend will fill in that third spot with Fort Lauderdale as her home port. Her 7-night Western Mediterranean sailing will be going out of Barcelona and Rome, as I've said, and then she'll have some nice 6 and 8-night sailings in out into the Caribbean. I'll show you all of those itineraries real quick. So the Western Mediterranean itinerary is going to be this or similar. So the variance is that Barcelona on this one is listed as a stop as opposed to the main port of call or the main departure port, which means that she's leaving out of Civitavecchia or Rome. If we have the other itinerary, it's that Rome or Civitavecchia is in there instead of Barcelona. So it's just a simple shifting of the names. Now, those trips, I do want to just call attention to the idea that you guys probably already know this, but if you're newer and you're not aware of this, if you board in Civitavecchia, you must disembark in Civitavecchia. It is a round trip itinerary. If you board in Barcelona, you must disembark in Barcelona. This is not a transfer or a ferry. This is a cruise, a 1-week cruise that you're signing on for. So you're either boarding and disembarking in Barcelona or Civitavecchia. It's not that, oh, we'll get on in Barcelona and end in Rome, no big deal. It doesn't work like that. So it is that round trip full week option. But great itinerary. For people who have not spent a lot of time traveling around Europe, this can be a really nice option. Some people absolutely love certain ports on this itinerary, so it's still a great option for those people. But remember, this itinerary is the same itinerary year after year for all of our Oasis class ships to date, and now for Legend of the Seas. The good news is if someone doesn't want to get off the ship because they've seen it, they've been there, they don't need to do it again, or they've done it recently, or whatever their reasons may be, they can stay on the ship. They can absolutely stay on this amazing floating resort that we're going to be talking about in the next couple minutes. They do not have to disembark. They can stay on and enjoy all the amenities on board the ship for the day, or they can get off and go enjoy the port of call that they are getting to experience. Now, if they want to do an Icon class ship, but they want to do something not in Europe, which obviously the convenience of being here in Europe is one of the key sellers for this season for Legend of the Seas. Huge reason to do it, right? Some people just don't want to go all the way over to Florida. Absolutely valid. It's a long flight. It's a lot of work to get over there and back, and all the pieces that go into that. We totally understand that. So we've got her in Europe for this first couple months. But if they want to take that extra trip, they want to go a little bit out of the way, we have the 8-night Southern Caribbean itinerary, which I think is absolutely gorgeous. Now, I have to tell you guys, I've been selling cruises with Royal Caribbean since 2019. I've been talking about it. I've been watching them. I have not seen any of our Oasis class or now Icon class ships going into the Southern Caribbean yet, because one of the things about these two classes is that they're very large ships. It means that the infrastructure in a lot of ports is not designed for them yet. So the fact that we are now going into the Southern Caribbean for next year, November of 26 and on, is very exciting. So we're going to be doing Curacao, we're going to be doing Aruba, and we're going to be doing Dominican Republic, Plus, you can't miss out on that stop at Perfect Day at Coco Cay, which we talked about a couple sessions ago, is absolutely amazing. It's such a fun, amazing destination to get to go to with amazing guest satisfaction scores too, like almost off the charts guest satisfaction scores. So this Southern Caribbean itinerary is absolutely gorgeous. But additionally, we have our 6-night Western Caribbean itinerary. So Perfect Day at Coco Cay, Falmouth, Jamaica, and of course, depending on the climate at the time, we do cancel this sometimes. Labadee, Haiti is in there as well. That's our private destination at Haiti. We're not talking about it a lot because the climate, the political climate in Haiti has been less than ideal recently. So we haven't been doing many trips there. If we don't do the trip to Haiti, then we'll either substitute in a sea day or possibly pull in a different port of call. But we anticipate that we are going to be able to continue back to Labadee. Amazing beach day, great drinks, great food, some really fun options to do from there. We do have a couple of different zip lines there, including the longest zip line over open water at Labadee, as well as a self-propelled, self-stopped roller coaster that guests can do. So some really fun stuff at Labadee when we're able to get there. So we're not talking about her very much because of the fact that the climate has been a little bit shaky, but because of safety, we have chosen not to go there, even though we are still taking care of our team on the island. All right, so some great itineraries there. Western Caribbean, Southern Caribbean, and of course the Western Med. Now, some of the things that you're going to find on an Icon class ship. Number one is that there are 8 different neighborhoods. So some amazing different options. Thrill Island is a lot of fun. It's got our largest water park at sea. We've also got Surfside, which is that family style neighborhood. Chill Island for those who want to just kick back and relax for a little while. The Hideaway is that adults only area. That's the Hideaway pool and the Hideaway bar. The Aquadome is fantastic for the performances in there. We've also got our suite neighborhood for those guests in our sky and star level suites. I always have to be like sea, star, sky. Okay, here we are. What's my range? I have to think about it because they're all S's, right? So for those top 2 tiers, the sky and the star guests get the opportunity to enjoy the suite neighborhood, which is the 8th neighborhood on here. We got the Royal Promenade, which is an amazing area that is open to the sea on the one side. So you've got amazing windows and views from the Royal Promenade now. And then Central Park, which is a huge favorite on both Oasis class and now our Icon class ships. It's modeled after Central Park in New York City initially, and there's living trees. On my Icon class ships, my understanding is there are over 30,000 different icon class or different living trees in the Central Park area. And it's just kind of a nice laid back vibe. You've got some nice music going, you've got some different shops and dining venues in there, and just some nice places to sit out and enjoy. I have actually seen, I have a photo, I've seen a live bird in there too. We do sometimes collect stowaways, if you will. They'll pop on at different ports. We do take them with us because how are we going to get them out easily? So they do occasionally, we'll have birds in there. So in our thrills, iconic thrills, right? That largest water park at sea is absolutely fantastic. 6 different record-breaking water slides on Icon of the Seas, and I expect that we're going to do something new on Legend to bring that level up, to keep that level high. We also have Crown's Edge, which is that aerial adventure that goes out over the side of the ship. So you're literally hanging over the ocean. It looks like a ton of fun, and I cannot wait to do it on my first Icon class ship. The Flow Rider is that surf simulator, and of course, Splashaway Bay is there for all of our kiddos. So some really great options. Got a video to kind of highlight some of the fun here. So here we go. All right. And then thrills, not quite what you're looking for. You want to chill a little bit? We have that option too. So one of my fun facts about Icon class ships is that there is no longer a pool deck on an Icon class ship. That's right. There's no pool deck because we have 7 different pools, and they are spread across 5 different decks. So 7 pools, 5 decks. You can't just say, meet me on the pool deck. You have to decide which pool deck you're going to, because there's a lot of different places. And if you don't confirm, you may not find each other. It is a large ship, so lots of spaces. 7 amazing pools. Most of those record breaking in their own ways as well, with different new things. And then we've got 10 different whirlpools throughout the ship. Now, Royal Bay is the largest pool at sea, with the largest surface area for a pool at sea. And we've got the water's edge pool, which takes you right up to the edge so you can actually see the sea. We've got that suspended infinity pool, which is the hideaway pool, which is our adults only area. Now, this is amazing for those Instagrammable moments. So for those guests who want to make sure that they're getting all of the best photos, this is the place to be. Swim and Tonic is the swim up bar. And there's actually like martini glasses that come up out of the pool. So you've got like this whole martini glass. I do believe it's a hot tub or a whirlpool at the top in the glass itself. But you access that from a different deck. So the next deck up. So it is the largest swim up bar at sea. And then of course we've got that Grove Suite Sun Deck, which is for all of our suite guests. Let's go ahead and watch a little video on our chill side of things. All right, Ruhan has asked if we can share the videos. I will leave that to Alex. He will get those out to you guys appropriately, so that you can see what's happening, and potentially use those in your own marketing and advertising for your customers. Then, of course, we have our iconic wows. So some really great things that are just wow worthy. The Aqua Theater show in the Aqua Dome is amazing. There's some really fantastic stuff that I'm seeing. It is the Aqua Dome is a 5-story freestanding dome. It's the largest freestanding dome at sea. And we've got a 5-story waterfall, shape-shifting waterfall in there at that. It's not just a waterfall, it's a shape-shifting waterfall. We've also got our dueling pianos, so that's quite the show to enjoy, with two different pianists, playing opposite each other and against each other and dueling. Lots of fun. We've got Latin bands. We've got the Broadway style theater, or the West End style theater, depending on where you're located and how you refer to that. Our main theater. Now, just a reminder, on Icon of the Seas, we brought in Wizard of Oz. Wizard of Oz actually has Dorothy flying in her bed above the audience. So I know that Star of the Seas is going to have Back to the Future, the musical. I can only imagine what we're going to be doing with that one. And of course, we have not yet announced Legends information. We're not going to be announcing any of the features for Legend until after Star is launched. We're going to give Star her moment in the limelight. We're going to let her be the star of the show for a little bit. And then we will move on to Legend and start talking about what's coming on Legend. So just know that we are doing amazing things on our Icon class ships. So I expect that we're going to be able to anticipate a similar type of level of caliber there that what we're looking at for our shows. And then of course we also do our comedy shows, which is always a ton of fun. Great way to get some laughs in throughout the day. Here's a video on our iconic wows. All right, and all of those are cutting out just a little bit early, just so you know. So that is not you guys, that is on my side somewhere, but it is in the computer, not in the video itself. Iconic bites. So the amazing thing about an Icon class ship is that there are over 40 ways to dine and drink on board. So we are not shying away from the food and drink while we're on our cruises here. We've got hibachi bites, we've got American delights, we've got Italian delicacies, and we've got our high-end supper club. Now the supper club is a fun one because that is going to be unique to every ship. So our first one on Icon of the Seas is the Empire Supper Club. And then the one on Star of the Seas is the Lincoln Park Supper Club. So we've got two different supper clubs modeled after different areas. So New York, Chicago, I imagine we're going to have something in California, LA, or San Francisco, or something like that. And then getting around to some other cities too as we go would be my guess. But each supper club has a different theme, a different dynamic to how the music is, how the food is, but it's going to be that high end option for dining. And of course, this is not even barely touching the surface of what we've got. You've got Izumi in the Park, which is a grab and go sushi option. You've got the new market, the Aquadome Market, I believe is what it's called. It's got like 5 different dining venues in it. So some really cool, and that's all complimentary. So some really cool different options, both specialty and complimentary, that we've added into all of the different options here. So lots to see and do. As far as stays go, we got a lot of great choices. And of course, the main one is that Ultimate Family Townhouse. Now, I'm not going to lie to you guys, I haven't looked. Maybe Alex has, maybe he'll drop something in the chat for us here. But my expectation is that Legend has been on seas for a couple of months now. If our first 3 sailings are already sold out or almost sold out, my guess is that the Ultimate Family Townhouse is gone for all of the sailings. She's been open for a couple months. That's just what happens. The rooms go away very quickly for this Ultimate Family Townhouse. It's a 3-story family suite with it's star level service, so you're getting Royal Genie service. It is the highest tier that we have. And it's absolutely amazing with all of the amenities in it. But the reality is you're probably going to be looking at, when we do our wave season in the autumn and the winter, October, November, December-ish, when we start our new itineraries for 27 to 28, that's when you'll need to be booking this Ultimate Family Townhouse, because this sells out quickly. If you happen to find it, it's probably because someone canceled on it, and that's why you find it available. The Ocean View Panoramic Suite. So this is a no balcony option. This is a great option for those families who want to have a nice space but don't want the balcony option because their kiddos are monkeys and they'll climb up and they're worried about that. This is a good choice for them, and very nice option with panoramic views. We've also got our Royal Loft Suite, and we have one Royal Loft Suite on every single ship in my Quantum class, my Icon class, and my Oasis class. This is a 2-story suite. There's always a Royal Suite on board our ships. Every single ship has one. My more traditional ship classes, the first 4 of them in the fleet, have a Royal Suite. That's a 1-story option. The newer 3 classes have the Royal Loft Suite, which is that 2-story option. So you can see just the views here are going to be absolutely amazing, and you get access right out to that Grove Suite sun deck, it looks like, where you can look over and see what's going on there, see who if your friends are out. So really amazing accommodations. Again, this one is probably sold out, so just be aware of that when you go looking for it through your booking tool, Expresso or Airwaves, that this is probably already gone. So the icons, I've seen it referred to internally or even externally a little bit as the threequel, not the sequel, the threequel. So we've got Icon, Star, and now Legend. So bringing all 3 of these absolutely amazing ships in. So why do you want to make sure that you're booking Legend now? Well, I've already mentioned it, right? The first 3 sailings are sold out or almost sold out. There is very limited space because there are a lot of people who want to be the first person on the newest ship and get all of those exciting features and benefits of being new. They'll do a lot of cool stuff also at inaugural sailings. So as those new ships come out, those sailings fill up quickly. But additionally, space is filling up. This is not like, we're not even really honestly pushing on Legend of the Seas yet. We're still looking at Star. We're still looking at the end of the 25 European season. We're still selling those things primarily, and Legend is filling up. So now is the time to be talking about Legend because she's going to fill up. And I have been asked a number of different times, are we going to have Legend come back for the next summer? And honestly, I have absolutely no idea. I am not privy to any of those conversations. I don't get included in those talks. But my guess would be, based on what I know of our business and how we run it, is that if we can fill a Legend with European guests, right? If we can get our EMEA region sourcing on Legend, um, they are more likely to say, hey, look, these guys really like this. We should give them another one. Now, whether that means they're going to bring Icon over for a season, or they're going to bring Star over for a season, or they'll bring Legend back. Remember, we've had a different Oasis class ship every single season since I started 6 years ago. So every year a new Oasis class ship is here. That doesn't mean they haven't been back here a couple of times, but it's never 2 years in a row, right? It's a different ship every single year. So the idea would, my guess would be that we're going to get a different Icon class ship every year, which is beautiful. But we have to show that we have the interest and the desire and the capacity to fill a ship like Legend of the Seas. So we've got 3 months to do that, 3 months to fill, and we want to make sure that we are getting that completely booked up. Let's not let the Americans in like me, okay? Let's get the Europeans in here. Let's get the Africans, the Middle Easterners. Let's get the ship filled with those of us from these regions instead. I'm counting myself amongst that now. So let's go ahead and fill up with us, with everyone from over here. So again, availability is going. We are filling up pretty quickly here. We are definitely moving this along. I know that there's a lot of markets in the EMEA region overall that are late sellers. This is not the ship to sit on. This is not the ship that you can book late. This is the ship that you have to be having those conversations now. And you can't be scared of it. Okay. You can't be scared to say, hey, I know we're talking about a cruise for 3 months from now, and that's great. We'll do that. But I just want to make sure you know, did you know that we have the world's largest cruise ship coming to Europe next year? And space is filling up quickly, so I don't want you to miss out. I know you enjoy getting some of those latest and greatest options. I know you've got the new phones and the new shoes and the new cars and the new whatever, right? You like to have that status. If you want to get that status with Royal Caribbean, Legend is coming and you can be on it, but we need to talk about it now. Can we talk about both of these options today, and kind of approach it that way, or whatever way fits best for you, your style, and the conversation you're having with your customer. Remember too, ask. Oh, see, I'm going to give away tips from my last session. We're going to talk about secret sales techniques in just a couple in just a couple of sessions here. But one of the things is to make sure you're asking the right questions. So come back and join me for that conversation next week, where I give you all of the tricks on how to have those conversations, how to start that process where you're really talking to your customers about what they are going to be wanting and doing, and making sure you're getting them the best options and you're not just taking their order. All right. So the 39%. This is with us not pushing Legend. 39% of all of our staterooms are already sold. We are moving quickly, so you don't want to miss out. I've been saying it. I've been saying it all along. This is the option. Like, we're selling quickly, so don't miss out. Now is typically going to be when the best rates are found. If your customer is worried that rates are going to go down, they're probably not, right? Rates are a trend. So it starts here at the lower end and it goes here to the higher end. When there's a lot of rooms, it's a lesser rate. When there's very few rooms, it's a higher rate. It's simple supply and demand, right? Basic economics. Now things will dip and flow, ebb and flow. So you'll get ups and downs. My arm doesn't do that, so I just show you a straight line. But the trend is an upward trend where pricing gets more expensive. If someone is super concerned that they're not getting the best rate, book them on a refundable rate so you can reprice it all the way up until final payment date. That's your best option for doing best rate options. But now is the time where they're going to get the best pricing of all of the times. Also, right now, there's a lot of flexibility in dining. So if they want to dine early, if they want to dine late, if they want the flexible my time dining, all of those choices are available right now, but you do need to get them booked sooner, because the popular times will sell out and then you're stuck with whatever is left over, and you'll end up eating in the Windjammer or going to specialty dining or whatever the case may be. But now is when you can choose that dining time that your guests want. And of course, there's flexibility. So if you book that refundable rate, they have the flexibility to change their ship and sail date all the way up until final payment date, actually. So lots of room, lots of wiggle, lots of things to look at there. So Don't forget, we've got 2 more sessions. So finding the right product for the right customer. We'll talk about our ships and our classes in a brief session. Alex gives me a half an hour for these sessions. I don't know how I'm supposed to do that, but we'll get that done. Talking about how to find the right fit. And then finally, those secret sales techniques, where I'll be giving you some tips and tricks on how to talk to your customers about cruising. Whether you haven't had the confidence to talk about cruising yet, or whether you just need to make sure that you have all of the best tips and tricks. I'll be sharing some of those with you. The link to sign up for that is there. Uh, Alex will drop that in the chat too. And then, of course, here is our YouTube following. So check us out on YouTube, follow that. Alex will drop this in the chat as well. This is where you can go watch the previous sessions or rewatch this one in a couple of hours once he gets this loaded up for you. So you'll be able to check that out. And then finally, we would love to hear from you. So please feel free to go in and fill out this form so that we know what you thought of today's session. All right. And of course, if you have been here the entire time and you've been here for all of the different sessions, don't forget that you are entered in the drawing as long as you attend the last 2 sessions. We are giving away cupcakes for the office for 3 different winners. And then the main winner, Alex, you're going to keep me honest here. The main winner is going to get the initial sailing on Legend of the Seas for 2 guests in 1 stateroom. Is that correct?
Inaugural event sailing. So it's going to be
The
like
inaugural event
trophy
sailing.
night.
All
Yeah.
right. And it is a stateroom for 2 guests. Is that correct?
Correct.
All right. So one lucky person is going to win that option, and you'll get to bring a guest along with you for that inaugural event sailing on Legend of the Seas next year. So you don't want to miss those last 2 sessions if you've already been here for all of them. All right. That is what we have for today. Thank you guys so much for joining us. I appreciate your time and being here, and we will see you guys next time. Have a great day, everyone.